Hello. Welcome to another episode of Creation World Presents DC's Multiverse, a companion show to Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow, where we will be discussing different incarnations of DC properties. I am your host, Mara Desharth Watkins, and I am joined once again by my co-host, Sir Cussalott Travis Pointoff, aka Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet Tea, aka Black Moon, aka HNIC.
What is that?
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm stoned, but that's okay.
Cool.
But what else is new? So,
Exactly.
and we're here. So this episode we'll be discussing the movie DC Superman Man of Tomorrow, starring Darren Criss as Kal-El Clark Kent Superman, Alexandra Daddario as Lois Lane, Zachary Quinto as Lex Luthor, Ike Amadi as John Jones / Martian Manhunter, and plus some other people. This is also the start. This movie was also the start of a new animated universe within DC that is continued in the movie Justice Society World War II. Maybe we can add that to the list.
Might as well.
Yeah.
If this is the same animation style, though, I'm not feeling it. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. Anywho, overall, Travis, what were your thoughts on this movie? This was my first time seeing it, so.
This is my first time watching it and actually really paying attention to it. I've had it on, I've turned it on and then got distracted by other stuff and then wasn't really paying attention before. Like this was, I want to say it was last year in like May when I tried to watch this, but I was at my parents' house. So it was just like, this was like, in the middle of quarantine.
Try to watch it after Fandom.
No, this is before Fandom. Yeah, this was in like I said, this was in like May. I was just, we were in the midst of quarantine. I really wasn't trying to pay much attention to it. Was probably extremely drunk and like ready to just float in the pool some more. Like I wasn't doing shit at this time. And
I'm so jealous that I was not invited to come down to Florida during the quarantine, but also was not really be safe to travel from New York to Florida.
Exactly.
Sorry. Yeah.
I was able to just because it was just me on mostly empty flights. It was beautiful, actually. I was just like, yo, this is dope. Like, I need all flights to be, I need all flights to be like this from now on. Imagine my anger and disappointment come Christmas time when I went back to visit my family again for Christmas. And it was not like that at all. I'm like, who are all these peasants sitting next to me? What is this? Why are there so many people here now? What are you doing? Don't y'all realize we still in a pandemic? Why are you traveling? Then some may say, Travis, why were you traveling? I'm like, don't worry about me. All right. This ain't about me right now. I'm sorry.
That because I'm the same way. I want to go away for my birthday in January, but like people make it hard to want to travel.
Yeah. I canceled my plans. I had big birthday plans this year. Not doing it now. I don't trust these people.
Right? Because this is dirty 30 for me. I may just have to make my friends suck it up and take me to Sugar Factory or something, because I heard that place is nice. But it's less expensive than trying to get them all to go to Mexico. So I'd be like, think of it this way. Instead of Mexico, let's just do something nice for Mara at a fraction of the cost.
Makes sense.
But we're not here to talk about my birthday plans or traveling at all. We're here to talk about Superman Man of Tomorrow, because essentially what this movie is It's pretty much like it chronicles Clark's life and when he first starts out as Superman. So let's get into it.
Okay.
The movie starts with what any good, I guess, or what any usual DC movie will start with, flashbacks.
Yeah, who doesn't love a flashback? Because they're
I mean,
flashbacks.
after 4 years of Arrow's flashbacks, I think, I'm tired of flashbacks, but it's all right.
Are you though? Do you ever
No.
really get tired of flashbacks? Because when they stopped happening, you were like, "Where are the flashbacks?" So
I think it was just off-putting because now it's just all continuous time with them in current time.
mm-hmm.
But we get flashbacks of Clark's parents talking about Clark's abilities, starting to tune up.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just kind of just watching a little bit of his childhood, his coming into an adulthood.
You're fucking around with that like pyramid puzzle thingy.
Yeah, regular shit.
Mm-hmm.
But so it flashes to excuse me, current times, and Clark's on a video call with his parents, so they've caught up with the times. On TV, they're watching Lex Luthor have a press conference before uh some rocket launch of his. Lex Luthor just doing Lex Luthor shit.
Yeah, he was launching a rocket with some Star Labs tech on it for reasons.
Right. It's just whichever.
Mm-hmm.
And Lois is of course there, and she's challenging Lex and asking difficult questions, and she airs out some shady recording of him uh pretty much just talking shit about people he shouldn't be.
Yeah, and basically having the attitude that if they die, they die.
Right, just like a lot of gross negligence, and he gets arrested for that shit because it's just like, damn man, that's illegal. Also, that's wrong as shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets arrested, and the rocket uh misdirects itself, and Clark comes in and saves the day by throwing the rocket back into space, never knowing where it goes because space is so vast.
Yeah, just up in space somewhere. It's up there.
That's crazy to
What's
think about,
what?
how vast space is.
Yeah, don't. It'll hurt your head.
I try not to, but sometimes my brain just like sadly drags me there.
Nope.
It's
Nope.
like the ocean, thinking about like
Nope.
how
Don't do
deep
it.
it is.
Yep. Take it somewhere else. Don't do it.
Uh, back to Superman. So you see that Clark looks like he feels like the actual power of the sun on him for the first time. And he's just like, wow, this is great. Um, and so then we get to him at the Daily Planet, which is where he works, or he's new to working there.
Mm-hmm.
And also during this whole rocket launch thing, someone's watching him, and it's like, who's this man following closely behind?
Yeah. When's the last time we saw somebody? The last million times in dark glasses and a hat, a black guy watching Superman. If you watched any other animated thing with the Justice League in it, you knew who that was. But some people didn't, so they do
I
it
took
every
a
time.
guess. I took it as a hint, and I was just like, that's got to be, because he doesn't seem shocked or in awe of anything anyway. Right. So I was like, it's either that or he's from like the CIA or some shit, like the alien department. It's Will Smith. Spoiler. The dude.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know. Who else would it be?
True that.
Yeah.
So Clark is at the Daily Planet and he sees an article being written about him. Well, super him that doesn't know the version that no one knows who he is, despite the fact that they look exactly the same in photos.
This is after the rocket, right? This is when we got butt naked Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it crashed back into the atmosphere and burned up his clothes.
Yeah, yeah. Completely butt ass naked, just standing there on all his glory, saying, "Look at my super dick." I mean, I guess he wasn't cold, so there's nothing to be ashamed of, because he just hit fire, like going through the atmosphere. So there was no shrinkage going on there. So he was in full, nicely well warm, presentation. So he didn't have to really hide nothing, but
You done?
For now.
What is this movie rated? PG-13. Okay.
That would have been my guess.
Yeah, because they didn't really show you a lot. But
They
anywho,
just showed the cheeks.
yeah, but you can show that.
Mm-hmm.
So Lois is new to the planet. And I feel like I normally see Lois is usually there longer than Clark
I think
is.
she was born on Earth.
I'm done. The Daily Planet.
Oh.
Yeah. So Lois is newly hired at the Daily Planet paper news
You sound so much better that way.
publication.
Stay like that.
You'd be surprised. Well, no, actually, it's actually not surprising how many people like a blunt black thing in my face.
She said it, not me.
Yeah, so Lois and Clark meet for the first time. And Lois, being fresh out of, I believe it was her grad program, she gives Clark some reporter tips so that he can, get on the good graces that she gets on, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
And Clark also sees a picture of him in his super form or his super version in Lois's things with a post-it note that says Superman on it. And it's just, sticking to the same where Lois comes up with the name Superman for him.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden there's reports of the sky is falling, but it's actually things falling from the sky. And it's some kind of UFO, Starlab says.
Mm-hmm.
So Clark quickly goes to check it out and he sees some alien dude on a space bike who calls him out as the Kryptonian. Yes.
The
Lobo,
main man.
Lobo, he's Lobo or something, right? Or is it just Lobo?
I've always just called him Lobo, but I think there is a thing, a moniker for him, maybe like a bounty hunter or something like that.
I'm trying to look that up right now. Either way, you got Lobo who shows up and he calls out Clark as being a Kryptonian, and Clark has no idea what that means. He's just like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, he has no idea.
Lobo, the Caesarian bounty hunter. Really, if I just kept reading my notes, I would have answered my own question.
Oh,
because I knew I was like, I should know that name for later.
It's almost like notes are helpful.
Right?
Crazy.
Stay in school, kids.
Basically.
Take notes. And then, so of course, in true cis male form, fighting occurs. I
mean, have you met Wonder Woman?
You're right. Fighting
have you
occurs.
Met Stargirl? What?
Nothing.
Just saying.
Anywho, they are on Earth, and Lobo throws something called, well, I called it a darkness bomb, and it absorbs this poor janitor dude who worked at Star Labs.
Yeah, good old Rudy. He was a cool dude, I'm just like, man, why they spending so much time on Rudy? Is he a secret alien? No, he wasn't a secret alien. They just turned him into an alien.
Right? It was just like, well, say goodbye to Rudy. And so Clark beats Lobo into space, and Lobo comes back at him with the kryptonite ring. And it's like, damn, imagine learning you're a different species, and then on top of that, find out what your weakness is all in 5 seconds. I'd be like, well, that sucks, but also now I know what to avoid.
Yeah, like I'm an alien. Okay, I'm from another planet, from Krypton. Oh, this glowing green rock hurts me. Awesome.
Stay away from that shit.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, a wild Martian appears, and he fights with Lobo, and it's kind of more of just like an antagonizing of the mind.
Like he's a fucking Pokemon.
Because I love doing that. Wild Martian appears. Let me stop for Nintendo Susans.
Sure. Give us that attention, Nintendo. Sue us. Sure.
Flashes up pictures of Pikachu for more than 30 seconds.
I will cover these videos with Pikachu. Not even just Pikachu. I'm talking Rule 34 Pikachu.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so Clark flies away to the sun to, I guess, power up, juice up a little bit. Mm-hmm. He flies back nude because, of course, his clothes are still not flame retardant.
Exactly.
And he beats Lobo. And I'm sure Lobo is mad embarrassed because you came in hot, like came in like pretty badass on a space bike, space motorcycle, only to get beat up by a naked dude.
I mean, naked dude's pretty strong. So
this is true. So, Lobo gets arrested.
Space motorcycle.
He does. Well, right now it's in lockup because Lobo gets arrested by I want to say I assumed DEO or Star Labs or I don't know which.
Yeah, probably the DEO. That would be my assumption.
Yeah. Don't want to assume the police was already equipped for this.
Right.
Daily Planet chief, who I'm assuming was Perry White, tries to tell Lois and Clark that Superman's is not a title that will catch on, and I find that to be funny because Superman is his name.
Yeah.
Lois goes to interview Lobo, and he pretty much doesn't really give her anything. He just
because she thought she was gonna get something because he tried to do them little tactics with Superman, like I'm gonna make him wait forever and then just not show up, and then when he leave, he'll be begging for an interview. But then by then, I'll have the information from Lobo, and I can be like, "Got your ass," but
bitch,
she can't get the "got your ass" because she ain't got nothing because Lobo don't give a fuck.
Right. It's just like he's just very. I don't care what any of y'all do. Like. I don't need to tell you anything. Clark is talking with his parents about, the world's sudden curiosity about him. And I'm just sitting here like, of course they're curious about you. How often do we see a nigga fight someone from out of the sky and then on top of that, throw rockets into space?
And then just stand in front of us all butt ass naked.
Yeah, and keep returning back to Earth naked.
Just swinging his space dick around, and it's just They're not ready for you to launch a rocket and then show off your rocket. Like,
But
they weren't ready.
however, he's just more worried that he won't have the answers for the questions that the public will ask, which is true because you don't even know what Kryptonian means yet.
He sure don't. Thing is, I'm quick to be like, yeah, I don't know. Like, but we need to. I'm like, yeah, I want to know too. Do you know?
But I don't know.
Like, you tell me. I don't know. All I remember is here. So, what you want me to do? Want me to make something up? I can make something up.
No, don't make anything.
You won't like it, but I'll make something up.
But so, Rudy, surprise, surprise, is alive.
I just realized that Luigi's hat is being picked up on as part of the green screen. And so, like, the background is showing on my shirt right here. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
I see. Surprise, surprise, Rudy's alive. But he's in a world of discomfort.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in surgery. He's not okay. And then all of a sudden, he is draining the poor healthcare workers, the heroes, of their life sources or whatever the fuck he was doing to them. It didn't look good.
Yeah, he was just absorbing whatever they had, just like, yo, give me your energy. And not like Goku do when he asked you to offer it up. This nigga was just taking it.
Give me the vibes.
Yeah, all of them.
And so,
like, give me what you got. And he ain't even give you a pork chop. Go ahead.
and you suddenly know that, yeah, this ain't going to be good. And we know this will be addressed sooner or later. The strange man who's been following Clark around in the trench coat shows up at the farm asking where Clark is. And, you know, I was just like, okay, this is John Jones. Like, yeah. And Clark shows himself. And
he showed himself earlier.
And so John, you know, tells Clark about himself and talks to Clark about his true origins of Krypton. And he's just like, you got to keep that shit a secret to humanity because xenophobia is a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't write who I was talking about, and I wrote this dude is looking for fentanyl, and I don't remember who was looking for fentanyl, but I felt like it was worth mentioning that someone
was looking
in
for
the
what?
movie fentanyl.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, but anywho, I'm sure it's what's his face, Rudy. Yeah, it was Rudy because it was before I realized that Rudy's name was Rudy. But then that's also happening while
the medication he was looking for. Yeah, it was fentanyl.
Yeah. And this is also why John is telling Clark about his past and unlocking those memories of Krypton from when he was an infant. And then we're back to Lois interviewing Lobo, still not getting anything. And Rudy shows up. And somehow he tries to, I think, do something with, I think, Lobo's cell and absorb so much power that he turned into a parasite monster.
Yeah. Whatever he was infected with that little bomb thing has got him, you know, worse and worse. And the more energy he absorbed, the more monstrous he got. And that energy there kind of sent him over the top. He's full on monster looking now.
And so before, you know, shit really gets hot, Martha presents Clark with a suit and a cape made of the material that Clark was wrapped up in when they found him. So she's like, I don't know what it's made of, but it works.
Yeah, they like forgot how many like saws they said they went through in order to make the cape and shit. And yeah,
So I think like 9.
yeah.
It was some heavy number, but it wasn't like double digits yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so, now that Rudy's a parasite, now Superman shows up because there's an S on his suit.
That's on his chest, yeah.
It's on his chest. So he now can coin Superman. And then he says to Lois, don't run the expose, like the one that she has put together herself on her assumptions and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I'll help you fix it. You just don't run the shit that you got.
Yeah, if somebody gonna tell my story, it should be me. So let me do it.
So he goes after Rudy the parasite. And Rudy the parasite is fucking rude and set John on fire.
All the way on fire. After he absorbs all Superman's powers, he then turns on John and he lasers the fuck out of him and sets him on fire, or so we thought.
Yeah. Because Clark wakes up and he's just like, I'm fucking human, because he cut his hand. And I was like, dun dun dun. And then Lois comes by to check on Clark because she was just like, I heard you weren't feeling too good.
She wasn't there to check on Clark.
She was there to check out Clark.
No, she was there to steal his fucking story.
That's it.
She was like, oh, we can share the byline. I'm like, no, get the fuck out of here.
Bitch.
Like, no, nigga, bye.
It's a cutthroat world out here in journalism, Lois. You should know that.
Like, and I'm not gonna let you do that to me. Fuck you.
So Superman goes to Lex for help.
Yeah, because he's got to get up into space and absorb some sunlight so he can be big and strong.
I gotta get to the sun.
Yeah, he was trying to get all big and strong.
He's like, Lex, milk ain't doing it right now.
Not at all.
And so Lex
synthesize.
So Clark goes, says, I need help to get to the sun really fast. And Lex is like, this is a power source for you. Sure, I'll help. I can casually just stroll out of prison as I feel like it.
Yeah, I can get a day pass. Like, who gets a day pass from prison?
That's nigga, this isn't a Disney fast pass. Like, how do you get one of those?
I don't know. Apparently Lex can do that because when you Lex Luthor, you can just do shit like
that. Rudy goes to see his family and scares the shit out of his kid, which makes him even more upset. And then Lex, we're back to them, and he tells Clark that I'm not going to just shoot you into orbit. We're going to find something different.
Yeah.
And they find footage of, Rudy being eaten by the purple goo. And they realize this is Lobo's fault if he hadn't shown his ass up here. And so pretty much they come up with this plan to defeat Rudy by shutting down Metropolis's power and luring him to like the power plant so they can absorb the power, which would kill him because it's so much power.
Right.
Because it's basically science.
Mm-hmm. He can only absorb so much. So we're going to get him to the point he overloads himself and
bam. But then Luthor, Lex, has also recruited Lobo to cause his ring to use his kryptonite ring in attempt to weaken the parasite's body.
Yeah, because he was just like, he absorbed your your strength, but he also absorbed your weaknesses. So what's
Mhm.
Superman's weakness? And he's like, I don't want to tell you that. Like, I wasn't asking you. And he looks up and here comes Lobo.
But yeah, the ring at first doesn't work. The military try to do something right, but they still can't. And they make shit worse.
Of course they did.
As they usually do. And the parasite, Rudy the parasite's now stronger. Lex then like puts the ring on a magnifying pulse rifle. I had to look this shit up. And shoots Rudy the parasite with it, and Rudy goes down for the count.
Temporarily.
Yeah. Like just incapacitates him. And then he tries to double cross Superman. Shocker.
Shocker. Lex Luthor tried to turn on Superman. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it?
It's just like you can't have one movie with them where he don't do that shit. But then
we had one. It wasn't our Lex Luthor, but it was, it was a Lex Luthor nonetheless.
I guess.
Crisis on Two Earths, he didn't. He stayed true. But that was a different Lex.
So John shows up and you're just like, what? How?
Like you saw what I wanted y'all to see.
Right. Ooh.
If I felt like it, you wouldn't see anything.
So, he said, one, I'm immortal, and two, I used a projection to pretend that I was dead.
Well, he's not immortal, but
or indestructible to whatever.
To normal means. He's weak.
Yeah.
He is weak against fire, though. That's the thing. But yeah.
And so Lex tries to skedaddle, and John goes after him. And then Superman talks down the parasite, Rudy the parasite, talking to him in here to Rudy, not the parasite. And he also introduces himself to the world. And I was just like, kind of not the time to make this about yourself.
Yeah, but we all know.
He's going to. Mm-hmm. So the parasite, Rudy the parasite, gives himself up to the plant's reactor because it's starting to overload, because Lex and Superman did not take into consideration that they would overload the reactor and we'd have another Chernobyl.
No, I think Lex thought that through. He just didn't give a shit.
Well, the morals of this plan were not there.
No, not at all. But it's Lex.
But either way, Rudy does the noble thing of dying. And yeah, that was the end of everything, apparently. So Lobo told them that there may be more Kryptonians and Martians out there than they think. So
yeah, he's like, when I hunt people down, I always say they're the last of their race. That gets me more money. That's how I do what I do. But yeah, I know there's more Martians. There's probably more Kryptonians. We know there's at least one. We just haven't met her yet.
She's on her way still. She's still stuck somewhere in space.
She's in the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. So we'll see.
But yeah, that was Superman, Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that was.
I hope you guys enjoyed this first Patreon exclusive, and then a month later will be released to you guys who won't subscribe to our Patreon. Sad face. So you should probably, if you do enjoy listening to me talk about random DC shit, like I would suggest just subscribe to the Patreon. There is more than just this. We do other stuff on there, but you know we're the highlight of it. But subscribe to the Patreon. And while you're doing that, subscribe to the YouTube. We're trying to get the specific link generator so we can just have it be youtube.com/the creation world, but we can't. We still have all that random captcha shit. So subscribe to the YouTube. We know there's a lot of y'all who interact with the YouTube and listen to us. You don't even have to do notifications. Just subscribe.
Click it. It's free.
Click it. Right. If you want to ring the bell, but you don't have to. Just hit the subscribe button. That makes me very happy. You can find us on Twitter at The Creation World. That's THECREATIA World. I'm not allowed to spell world for you. It's legally in my contract.
This is true. Put it there.
We also have a Facebook group, which is facebook.com/The Creation World.
No.
And then it's pages, right? Then
no. There's no the.
Oh, okay. It's facebook.com/creation world. And I've already spelled creation for you. And there's a Facebook group for Multiverse and also Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow, as I hope you guys have already joined, and bring your friends. And that's facebook.com/groups/Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. And because we kind of sort of like the other people we work with at Creation World, if you happen to like wrestling too, we have a wrestling companion show as well. And that's called Smacking It Raw. And they have a Facebook group too. And that's facebook.com/groups/Smacking It Raw. There's no G in smacking.
That's correct.
It's all Ebonics up in this bitch, which will be funny when you see who hosts Smacking It Raw. Travis, where can they find you?
Twitter and Instagram at Sir_Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter as well at Mara the Shark. That's MARADASHARK. I don't know what we will be watching next, but stay tuned for the next one that will come if you subscribe to the Patreon. The one you
mentioned isn't on HBO Max, so we can't do that one.
Well then, so we'll figure it out. We won't tell you guys in advance, but just know that it will be coming. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to tell you guys, but I'm gonna end it here from the number one Arrowverse podcast on Pornhub. We out.
Peace.
Laters.